Okay, so today I have a piece of advice that I think is going to sound a little counterintuitive. When you're working on vibrato, especially as an adult learner and especially in the earlier stages, stop trying to make your vibrato sound good. This basically goes against my entire philosophy for learning the cello as an adult, which is to focus on a beautiful sound from day one. That's what keeps us motivated and excited to learn this challenging, amazing instrument. And so typically when I'm working with my students and helping them prioritize sound quality, I'm constantly telling them, utilize your ear. Listen for what you want to hear, let your ear guide your bow arm, etc., etc. But in the case of learning vibrato, especially early on, I think there's actually a little bit of a danger in letting your ear guide your efforts. I mean, let's be honest, even when you're just starting off learning the mechanics of vibrato, it's natural to kind of want to compare what you're hearing with the beautiful finished vibratos of your favorite players. That's why we want to learn vibrato in the first place. But there are a couple of reasons I think this is particularly problematic for vibrato. First and foremost, I think it's going to make us rush the process because we just want to hear ourselves vibrate a note successfully. I remember thinking back in the day, like, if I could just get like 3 uninterrupted seconds, I think psychologically, then I can start to believe that this is really possible for me. So what would this look like in practice? When I'm teaching vibrato, I often think of the mechanics as specific stages. There's like a walking stage, a jogging stage, and then kind of a sprinting stage, and your final vibrato is in that kind of sprint mode, okay? And what'll happen is, this, I'm so guilty of this back in the day, is I would be in a walking phase, let's say a finger flexibility exercise, and I'm just getting the motion correct. I'm trying to make sure my arm feels nice and balanced. I want my finger to be nice and flexible, and I'm trying to make sure that the right body part is creating this, this motion, and everything's starting to feel pretty good. I get maybe 6 to 8 minutes of that, on various fingers, and then I can't help myself. Okay, let me just, wait, hold on. Come on. And then I do that for like 20 seconds. And what happened there, I forced it. I tried to get into the sprint mode because I was just being impatient. I just want to hear it. Tons of excess physical tension rushes in, and suddenly I'm stuck in that hummingbird vibrato, which is, incredibly narrow, incredibly tight, almost inaudible if you did like a recording. I remember recording myself and be like, where'd the vibrato go? And the worst part about that, what I found personally, was that finishing my little kind of practice session with 20 seconds of that kind of hummingbird effort would almost completely erase 6 to 8 minutes of muscle memory of the good kind of walking pace exercise I had done previously. So not only does forcing things not work, it actually kind of makes you slide backwards progress-wise. And the second reason I think being overly ear-driven with vibrato can be a problem is that it can actually create a false sense of failure and kind of lower your sense of self-belief, even if you're actually making progress. Why I think that's the case is that even more than some of the other cello techniques you're going to learn, vibrato just requires a certain degree of physical freedom and balance, and certainly a lack of excess physical tension. And while you're kind of forming and developing that mechanically, it doesn't necessarily instantly translate into a luscious sounding vibrato. So you could actually be doing, the stages correctly and making progress towards a really great vibrato, but because you're not hearing it audibly, it could be super demoralizing and you think you're getting nowhere. So now I just want to offer up a little mindset shift for the early part of learning vibrato. I really think you can focus on learning the mechanics without constantly judging them artistically. Honestly, in the beginning stages of learning vibrato, I think feeling a sense of balance and a sense of things opening up physically is almost as good as hearing things open up sound-wise. And when I think about what it feels like to employ a healthy functional vibrato now, it's a sense of being able to like let go and to release into the motion, not kind of grasping for a final product or like trying to force a final speed or a certain width physically. So for that reason, I think forcing your way through the steps quickly is not going to build the mental or physical approach needed to get you where you want to go. So my advice, enjoy the process, which is hopefully the right exercises in the right order, done the right way, and try your best during that time not to constantly check your progress against some sort of like ideal vibrato sound you have in your mind. Now, if you would like some further guidance on how to pave the way for creating the ideal conditions for developing vibrato, I have an upcoming free Facebook workshop. It's called Vibrato Essentials, Building the Foundation. It's going to be Friday, September 4th through Sunday, September 6th. And whether you've been curious about learning how to vibrate or you already have a vibrato, but you're kind of interested in unlocking more freedom and reducing excess physical tension, this is definitely for you, and I would love to see you there. And there's a link in the description below if you'd like to learn more and reserve your spot in the workshop. Hope that helps, and hope to see you soon.